It rained last night and it was supposed to rain all day today. So I was going to just drive around. But it's actually pretty dry right now. So I decided to come out here and hike around in this area where I hunted last year and a little bit already this season. I came last night, Friday. This is Saturday morning, and actually there's a little bit of snow on the ground. It's not even really snow, it's more like small hail, and it started at about 6,400 feet elevation. So that's pretty good. This is the first weekend of October, and so far hunting season has a lot of great promises. For one, we already had some storms. We even had a small storm during archery season, which never happens. So that is good. I mean, it's not like the deer are going to just start coming down the mountain, but it's a good sign. And we already had some more rain a while ago, and we are supposed to have some weather this weekend. It doesn't mean they're going to all start coming down. I guess hunters have different opinions on this. My opinion is that if just a little bit of difference in air pressure can trigger them to start moving, then snow will probably trigger some of them. At least more does will come down. The spikes, the forks, the big bucks will probably come later, but at least they're triggered that it's time to start moving down. So that's how I look at it. And the other thing is I have a long weekend, and this never happens. I'm a teacher, so I can never take off. I don't have vacation. We have vacation in the summer, so I just have my weekends to hunt. And now we have a long weekend, and also next weekend it will be a 3-day weekend. This is very exciting, and my friend is supposed to come here today, and we can hunt together, so that will be great. Hi, sweetie. How you doing, baby? Did you mess up mommy's trailer? Oh my goodness. Well, I guess she wanted to lay on my clothes, which is okay, I guess. Nothing else happened. She didn't mess up the food, so that's always a good thing. You're so sweet, precious. Hi. Hi, sweetie. Hi, Misha Chica. Hi, baby case. So my friend Diane came, and she actually brought her trailer, so we are camping together. And Saturday afternoon we drove around because it was pouring rain. We saw a few does, a few fawns, not many. I forget how many, maybe 6 or 7, or I forget. And now this is Sunday, so we are in her Jeep, and it's cold. Well, it depends. We went all the way up to 8,000 feet. We went all the way down to 5, and the weather changed, and it started raining. It started to have a little hail. We all together spotted 14, I believe 14 does and fawns. Lots of hunters out. This area not so bad. This is actually closer to my house, about an hour and 20 minutes. So this is where I will be hunting. There's no reason to drive 2 hours if this is just as good. And where I used to hunt, there were hunters everywhere. I mean, it's very crowded. Here we saw quite a few, but I think it's normal. So it wasn't even so bad. But we drove around, we hiked out a little bit, pretty much all day. We woke up at 5:30 and got back at 8. But we saw a buck, actually maybe 2 of them. The second one couldn't tell. It had a pretty big body, but we couldn't tell if it was a buck. But the first one was a fork, a 2x2, and they ran off. So that was it. But it just totally like energized me. I feel discouraged so often, and I hate it because, you know, I'm out here. It's always supposed to be exciting, and you know, you just never know. The deer can be literally anywhere, even if it doesn't look like the area where they would be at. They could be traveling through, you know, they could be anywhere. So but I get discouraged a lot, and I don't know why. I hate it. I need to snap out of it, and this definitely snapped me out of it, because I was like, oh my gosh, okay, this will happen, this can happen. So I'm kind of back to where I was a few years ago, so I'm happy about that. So this is Monday morning, and I'm going back to that area where we saw the buck, and I'm going to hike in a little bit, and just kind of sit and wait and see what happens, and then maybe drive around later on, maybe hike out some more. Not sure yet. I do have to leave, I would say, by 1 o'clock the latest, so I can get home and get ready for the week. But I have the whole morning, and let's just see what happens.
Hi, sweetie. Mommy's back. Hi, precious. Hello. Hi, little doggy.
So I know this is not hunting related, but I think it could help some of you guys, hunters who have dogs. So I want to tell you about this. So as many of you guys know, this is my Misha doggy. She goes with me everywhere. And a lot of you guys know that I lost her in the summer in Utah. She was gone for 2 days, and she got out of my crate. Totally my fault, and I didn't know for a long time. For 2.5 hours, I drove 100 miles, and I realized she wasn't in there, and then I raced back. So that was 5 hours, and couldn't find her. And that was just devastating, and just the worst nightmare. For almost 2 full days, almost 48 hours. A lot of people came together to try to help me, and it was just amazing in that way. I did find her 2 days later in the morning.
Art, come here. Oh my God, hi, baby. Oh my goodness, baby. Oh my God. Hi, sweetie. Oh my God.
And discovered that she was actually hit by a car.
Is it good? It's your favorite.
And her hips, both sides of her hips and her pelvis were fractured. One side was really bad, and she had to have surgery. So we rushed home, took her to the vet, got her into a hospital that was about 3 hours away, and she had to have surgery immediately the next day, and that cost me $17,000. 17, yes, it's $17,000. It's a crazy amount of money, but that's my doggy. And if she didn't have surgery, then first of all, she was in excruciating pain, and that wasn't gonna stop. But eventually the pain would have gone away, I guess. But if her hip would have healed on its own, she would have ended up losing one of her legs, because it just wasn't gonna work. And I couldn't do that to her. So plus she was in so much pain, poor dog. But they did a good job. She came home. So this was in the beginning of July. She had the surgery, the very beginning, and she came home, and I nursed her back to life. Took about 2 weeks. After 9 days, she was kind of healing much better and was walking and everything, and she's good. She's still limping a little bit. If she's walking, you couldn't really tell, but when she's running, she kind of picks up her right side, her right hind leg. That's the one that was really bad. She picks it up, so she's kind of hopping on three legs, but she does a really good job. But eventually she'll be able to run the same way as she used to. She's already improving in that. So, but I want to tell you this. Well, first I want to share it anyways, but I want to tell you about something I discovered that could have helped me if I had it. And it's too late now, but I guess it's never too late, and hopefully it can help somebody. So I'm talking about AirTags. You obviously have to have an iPhone for this, so this will actually will resonate well with about half of the people that have iPhones. But an AirTag is a device you could put on your dog, cat, in your vehicle, in your RV, in your kid's backpack, just, you know, all these different things. It's very small, it's about this tiny, $30, not that expensive. And so I put it on her collar, and I have it set up. So just like my daughter gave me her location, I can see her where she is, and she could see mine wherever she is. It's the same way. I have Misha's location on my phone, and it doesn't work like a GPS. So if she runs off, it doesn't mean I will know where she is, but I will know if I'm close. And the good thing is that it works even if there's no cell phone service. So she has it on her collar, and it won't fall off. The way it is just, I love it. You could buy these clips and different things to attach it, and it won't fall off. And when I leave her at the campsite, which I do now, I can actually leave her inside the trailer, and she doesn't tear it up, and she's just perfectly happy. So I'm very happy about that, and I can go hunting without her. When I leave, I don't know how far I go, like a half a mile or quarter mile, I forget. But my phone gets this notification, even if I have no cell phone service, and she has no service where she is. But I get this notification that I left her behind. And that is super important. If I had this when I was in Utah, when she got out of the truck and I didn't know, and I drove off, I would have known. I could have come back, and none of this would have happened. So this is very important. And the way it works is that it notifies me, and I'm like, okay, I know. You know, I left her behind. And let's say she got lost, and I'm looking for her. So it will, when I get close to her, it will actually show me where she is. And you will have this little sound, this little tingling sound go off on your iPhone. Not just mine, but on yours. So if you are close to my dog that's lost, your iPhone will let you know that there's an AirTag nearby. And then you can click on it, and I think you can identify who it is, and you can contact me. I'm not exactly sure how that works because I haven't experienced it, but that's basically the theory. That's what I was told, that's what it does. And I was told by this one lady that helped me find her is that this is how they found one of the dogs, because she helps find dogs. She said there was no cell phone service, and it was because of an AirTag they found the dog. So she could be 5 miles away, and I wouldn't know that that's where she is. But if I'm looking and looking, and I'm closer and closer, I guess I'm within range. I don't know how much that range is. It would show up. I would see it. And also I can click something on my phone saying that she is now lost, like reported lost on the iTag. So if you have dogs that you take in the outdoors with you, I would recommend looking into this. If you don't have an iPhone, they do have other products. I don't know what they're called, but they're very similar, that work with an Android phone. Or even if you have an iPhone, you don't want to use an AirTag, you can still use those, but definitely look into it. Also, you can mark your home as a location that when you leave her behind, it doesn't notify you. So every day I go to work, she stays home, the notification doesn't go off because she's safely at home. So I think this is pretty cool. So this is where we are. I saw one doe the whole morning. That was it. Nothing else. But that's okay. Going to go home soon, and I can't wait to come back. next weekend, and we'll see what happens. But this is my 7th year hunting, my 7th season, and they say that at least in this area, in D7, on average, it takes about 7 years or 7 seasons to get your first buck. So I think I'm due one. Not that they owe it to me, but I am hoping I'm gonna get one. Also in D7, the success rate is 5% on average. Some years a little higher, but 5%, that's not that much. That means out of every 100 hunters, 5 of them will get it. So it's not the best, but you're still out here. It's just so gorgeous. It's so beautiful out here. It's perfect weather. It's not hot. It has been at times where we would be hunting during rifle season and you're just too hot, but you actually have to put some clothes on. So I love it. It doesn't matter. I didn't get anything. I'm used to it. It's fine. It was still an amazing, wonderful weekend, and I loved it that I got to hunt with a friend, with a lady, not a guy, because it's always a guy, and I appreciate that too. But it was a lady, so that was really cool. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time.